All right, certainly disappointed in the outcome of the Yale game. I got to give Yale credit. They played really well, extremely well on their home field. I thought we did some really good things. I was proud of our team for hanging in there and mounting two comebacks, one at the end of the first half and then one there at the end of the game after being down 21-0. But all the credit goes to Yale and how they played. And we knew their offense was very difficult to defend, and they had a really nice scheme. And they made the plays. And you look at the stats, it goes down to turnovers. They won a turnover ratio 2-0. They protected the ball better than we did. Third down conversions, they were 14 of 20 on third down conversions. And then time of possession, actually in the second half, our offense only had the ball for 6 minutes, 6.5 minutes. So that's two things. Obviously, them holding the ball and us too many 3-and-outs. So, it's on to the next one. But before I get to the Western Carolina game, I'd like to say David Durden was our offensive player of the game. Michael Freeman was our defensive player of the game. He is playing for injured Sidney Otiwu. And then Matt Shield had a really good day of punting the ball, averaged 47.5 yards on a very sloppy field. So I was happy about what Matt did to keep them pinned deep in their own territory. From an injury standpoint, we didn't go there. We still are missing 6 starters. Riddle, May, Robinson, Bueller, Otiwu, and Jackson are the 6 guys that we're hoping to get back at some point in time. I can't tell you if we're going to get them back this week or not, but hopefully we'll get them back, before long, because we certainly need them. But if you look at the game and the stats, and there was some big-time plays by Marquis Servin. Kalen threw the ball really well. We had 14 completions, and I think he had 333 yards. So he threw the deep ball exceptionally well to try to keep us in the game. But at the end of the day, we just couldn't get one more stop to get over the hump to try to force an overtime there. So long road trip, pretty cool experience playing there in the Yale Bowl. Obviously, probably one of the worst fields that I've ever played on, but because of the rain and muddy and just a tough field to stand up on and do the things we needed to do. But that's no excuse. Both teams played on the field, and they did a really good job. I'll open it up for questions. Yeah, David obviously is lacked production because the balls have been going to the other side of the field to Marquise, but certainly they left him one-on-one several times, and we took some opportunities to get him the ball, took some shots down the field. He's been a really good player since the first day he stepped on the field this year. The thing you don't realize, not only does he play receiver every down, he's on the punt team. He's the first one down on the punt team. He's the first one down on the kickoff team. And there at the end of the game, when we had to get a field goal, try to block a field goal to keep the game at bay, we put him in there to come off the edge. And he didn't block it, but he certainly scared the guy, and the guy missed the ball to the right. So he's just got a lot of talent, a lot of ability, and a lot of confidence. And so you'll be hearing his name from here on out for years to come, which is a good thing for the Bears. Yeah, the tough thing is we weren't able to run the ball the way we thought we were going to be able to run the ball. They do a lot of different stunts and angles up front. They do play a lot of man coverage. Looking back on it, we probably should have thrown the ball even more. Had more opportunities to hit big ones down the field. But I thought, Kalen threw the ball exceptionally well when he had time, especially the deep ball. And we threw a bunch of deep balls, and he really hit them in stride and made some big-time plays for us. Defensively, we played good in spurts, but when it came down to third down situations, we got them in third down 20 times, which is very unusual in a game, and they converted 14. But we were right there. But right there is not good enough, and we got to try to get them off the field. So we got to continue to press forward on the defensive side, and then, of course, we can't turn the ball over. We gave them a cheap touchdown early. Then when Kalen fumbled that ball, and they scooped and scored, and that put us behind the 8 ball. But I was proud of the way we fought back. Well, we had a meeting yesterday, as we always do on Sunday, trying to put that game to bed, and now it's SoCon for 5 straight weeks, and begins here at home. The good news for us, we still control our own destiny. The good news is we've got 3 of the next 5 here at 5 Star Stadium, and so I'm excited about that. But it all starts this week with Western Carolina, and Western's kind of like we are. They're 3-3. We're 3-3. Mark Spear's a good friend of mine. He's their head coach. We talk a lot, but at the end of the day, it all starts with their quarterback, Tyree Adams. They're still averaging 213 yards rushing and 250-yard passing a game. They're very explosive on offense. Defensive, they play a similar defense to what our defense does, which is good for a carryover for our offense. But they're playing a lot of young guys on defense, and so it's going to be a really good football game. Looking for a big crowd at 5 Star Stadium here at 4 o'clock this Saturday. Well, last year's game it was a big win, because if Western had won that game, they would have gotten in the playoffs for the first time in 34 years. So they were sitting there ready to celebrate, and our team went in there. We had a mindset. We had a great game plan. I think we threw the ball maybe 14 times that day because we had such a good running game with Alex Lakes and T. Mitchell. Our offensive line did a really good job. We controlled the ball. And that's kind of what you got to do against a team like that with a powerful quarterback, because Tyree is a guy that can run the ball and throw the ball. He can control the ball. He can control the game with his legs just as well as he can his arm. And I know he's been a little banged up. He's been in and out of the lineup here the last couple of weeks, but he's still a threat anytime he's on the field. So it was a great win for us, but we stuck to our game plan, and we have to do that again. Yeah, Kalen's done a really nice job of stepping in, and like I said, during preseason camp, Kalen and Robert got every rep. Those only two quarterbacks got all the reps, so he got plenty of reps in practice, which should carry over to the game. But you're out the first couple of games, you're really not playing, you're not in the rhythm, you're not in a flow. But once he stepped in there and got going, he did a good job for us. The only mistake he made, obviously, was fumbling the ball there in a pressure situation. But I really thought he stood in the pocket well. He had a lot of people in his face, and like I said, the deep ball, whether it was the inside fade or the outside fade, those are tough throws. And they even put a 6'4" corner out there, number 3, on Mark Weiss one time, and he still made 2 great throws over his head to make completion. So he kept us in the game with his arm.
What are the challenges, obviously, with a dual threat quarterback? Someone get a job, get the job done both ways.
Well, you look at last week, the quarterback at Yale was very similar. Probably not quite as good an athlete, but he extended plays and hurt us down the stretch there. Tyree's a guy that can extend plays and take it to the house, and he's that kind of guy, very slippery, hard to tackle, hard to bring down. Obviously, he's played a long time. This is year 3, I think, for him. He seems like he's been there for 5 or 6 years. But the guys knows what he's doing in their offense. They always have really good offensive numbers. So, again, it's about our defense just playing well again, and it's about our offense controlling the ball.
How was the flight, man? You guys going on a plane and everything like that?
It was nerve-wracking at first, but, it was good when we was in the air, I just got used to it.
Michael Freeman, he said he was a little nervous before. Did you guys give him a hard time? Did you tell,
oh, yeah,
you guys tell he was nervous?
Definitely. Like, when I could just tell on his face like he was nervous, but, on the way back, it seemed like he was pretty good, so, yeah. Well, definitely, we're just going to learn from our mistakes and, just get better on next weekend, hopefully get the W. Well, on the back end, we just going to have to apply some to our receivers and make sure, they don't stay open, but also keep contained on the quarterback as well is a main key. Well, really with us, we just trying to take it a game at a time, and, we're going to look forward to ETSU when the time is there, but our main focus right now is against Western Carolina, so really we just trying to get right and, come out with a W. Oh, definitely. It's definitely a statement game, but, we just need to just go out there and keep playing and keep doing what we do best, which is get after the quarterback and make plays on defense. That's our main objectives, and, try to come together as a whole team so we all can win.
Y'all amped up to be back at home. It's been almost a month, I think, since you guys played here.
Definitely. It's definitely feel good to be back at the crib and just to play amongst the crowd and everybody, but it's definitely good, definitely. Really just not get complacent, just improve on that and build on top of that so I can go out there and give the best possible chance to win for our team.
How long have you been waiting to throw that touchdown pass?
It was exciting. We put the play in this past week, and I was like, we might run it, we might not. But whenever I got to throw it and they made the call, I was very excited for sure. It's pretty cool.
So you're technically like the 4th guy on the depth chart now? Are they putting you in?
Yeah, I think I would have to be. Robert got hurt, so once everyone else is done, I guess I got to step up and sling the ball a little bit.
I like it.
We got a very just dynamic offense. We can do a lot of things with a lot of different people. And, I mean, the only problem we have is there's one ball, and we have so many playmakers that it's just hard to give everybody a chance to score.
What have you learned from Marquise?
He's been a very big influence. With the way he plays and stuff has made me want to play harder. But just other things that he does, the way he talks, the way he carries the team and leads the team, it makes you want to play for a guy like that as hard as you can ever play. Special teams is probably the most funnest part about the game. It's whenever all the good players from both sides of the ball are in there wreaking havoc on everything they see and come in contact with. I mean, I had a big hit on a couple of plays, but the one that stood out to me the most was probably Tyree's on that kickoff whenever he just clobbered the dude. He absolutely murdered him. It was great. Robert getting hurt, we thought it was going to hurt us pretty bad, but Kalen came in there and daggum did one of the best jobs I've ever seen him be a part of. The other day, sure, he fumbled the ball the first time. I mean, opening was the second drive, and they picked it up and scooped and scored. But after that, he settled down, and he looked miraculous. He was throwing it everywhere. He had great confidence in the pocket. He was throwing away when he needed to. He looked really good. All his reads and stuff were just spot on. He was really good. It's great. Football's the greatest sport ever invented. You can physically hurt somebody without getting in trouble for it, and you have a band of brothers with you that you'll remember for a lifetime, and you can't ask for anything more. We have a really, really great band of leaders. Our leaders are just out of this world, and they help keep us focused. And then just knowing that we can make a lot of noise, and I mean we're 2-1 in the conference right now. I mean it's open for anybody. Knowing that we can actually go in there and win it, and we have the team to do it right now, defense and offense and special teams. So just knowing that, I think we're probably more hungry than what we started out the season with. It's just going to be a big game, and can't wait for it. But we're definitely going to play harder than what we probably have all season. We're probably about to step our game up to a whole nother level, and we're going to play our tail off for 4 quarters. Every time we're on the field, we're just going to give it everything we have.